How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video on Coaster Xtra. In today's video, we are going to be looking at what the future could hold for Alton Towers Resort, as you can see on my screen. But before we get into it, just remember that if you enjoy my videos, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. It helps the channel out a ton. Also join my Discord server, the link's in the description. And let's get into it. Okay, so you can see Alton Towers on my screen now on Google Maps, of course. And we are going to start by covering something a little bit historical. Over here, this area down here, you can see that there is a cable car going all the way along. It's quite difficult to see because it blends in, but you can see it here, how there is a station for the cable car here and also a station down this end. And the reason that this is here is to transport guests who don't wish to walk across a big valley. Yes, although it is hard to see, this on my screen here is a big valley. And quite a long time ago now, there were plans from John Wardley, who is a roller coaster designer. If you don't know, he designed Nemesis and many other amazing roller coasters. And there were plans for a wooden coaster to go down this valley with massive drop and all that really cool stuff. So it would start here, roughly, about the station here, come down, up and up the valley with a second lift too. It would come round, it would come down through the trees and up again. However, unfortunately, these plans were rejected because they would have had to cut down trees and the noise levels were concerning for the residents of Alton Towers, and there are still residents of Alton Towers. This is the actual towers. This is where the theme park's built around. This is actual Alton Towers here. And there were residents and they were concerned about noise, and so were the local council, so the plans were unfortunately rejected. However, it'd be really amazing to see these plans come to life with a coaster in this valley. That would be so cool. Flying through the trees, going round and just speeding down the valley. It's a big valley. I remember when I went to Alton Towers, we took the Sky Ride one way, which is what this cable car is called, and we walked down the other way. And it's a long walk. It takes about 20 minutes to get from one side to the other because Alton Towers is a big park. But I think this coaster would be really cool if it could come round, go around here and come back. Now, this unfortunately wouldn't be easy because if it was to be a wooden coaster as a homage to the original plans, we've got Wicker Man over here. Now on the map, you can see that it looks like it's still under construction. This ride is complete. I'll put a picture of it on the screen now. This satellite imagery was obviously just taken before the coaster was complete during its construction in 2018. And that's a wooden coaster made by GCI. So wouldn't really fit for them to make two wooden coasters in a row. However, that doesn't mean the plan should be completely rejected. I think there should be a coaster. Coasters can be quite quiet nowadays, with the wheels and the track being filled with sand. So a steel coaster coming down here, I'm not sure who could manufacture it. B&M coasters tend to have quite a roar to them, so that wouldn't be the best. However, some other coaster types could fit. It's quite a broad range. They would have to probably cut down a few trees, so I'm not sure how well that would fit with the local council, and also the screams are something to be wary of. But this is just a really cool idea that I think if this came would be absolutely amazing. Now we are going to head over to Xtra, which is over here, quite near the entrance, which is here. Now Xtra is a small little zone for Alton Towers. It's like a futuristic zone and is probably well known for the Smiler here, which is a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster with the most inversions in the world, 14, and Oblivion with its vertical drop, even though it's not quite vertical, it's actually 87 degrees. but it was marketed as the first ever vertical drop coaster, so you've got to give it some credit. And we've also got Enterprise over here. Now, originally, there was a flat ride just here called Submission. And this was actually a really, really cool ride. It was a bit hated on because it ended up getting quite rough and the restraints were bulky, and then Alton Towers couldn't run both sides, so it had a low capacity. But I think a flat ride similar to that would fit really well here. Now, Alton Towers are adding a few new funfair rides, but these are probably not going to be permanent. These are just temporary things to help with capacity, to spread out guests around the park. And there is one going somewhere around this area. So I'm not sure about this, but when those get removed, I think a flat ride here could fit. Maybe a top spin variant, such as Tidal Wave at Flamingo Land. I'll put one of those on the screen now so you can see what they do. Those arms move independently, and that could really fit with the futuristic theme of X Sector. Now we are going to go back over to the other side of the park. Back to the Forbidden Valley again. And this is the area with Nemesis and Galactica over here. Both manufactured by B&M. Galactica is a flying coaster and Nemesis is a inverted coaster. Now, there was originally, well, not originally, but there was in around 2015-ish, a drop tower near here. And you might be wondering, how could a drop tower fit when Alton Towers can't build above the tree line? And if you didn't know that, that is a true fact. Alton Towers are not allowed to build anything above the tree line. And a drop tower, surely those are meant to be tall. Well, it was an underground drop tower. Somewhere near this building, somewhere near this area, there was a drop tower called Nemesis Subterra, and that was ended up being abandoned because it just wasn't the most popular and cost quite a lot of money to run with all the special effects, so it was closed down. But I think a revival for that could be really, really nice. For example, they could use the same area for the drop tower underground, maybe make it slightly bigger, maybe change its theme, maybe do something just to make it slightly better, like maybe make it a stand-up drop tower, like Apocalypse at Drayton Manor. And just they could do so much with that building that was used for Nemesis Subterra. It just feels like a waste if it's not. So I think that could be quite a possibility for the future, a revival of some kind of Nemesis Subterra. Now, we are going to move back over to the gardens here. And we're going to go slightly further, and this is the lake. Now, this is already being used for a ride called Battle Galleons, which is a ride where boats ride around on a track and they get to shoot at guests and guests gets to shoot at them and everyone just gets soaked. So that's quite a cool ride over there. But we've got, as you can see, a lot of space here. If you look at the sides of Smiler, they've managed to pack all of that into that one little space. Look how big this is. And this would not all need to be used. No way. This is just a possibility. Now, there are so many types of coaster that could go here. It's such a big area that pretty much anything could fit here. It is so, so large. Now, this is quite a risky play because, as you can see the entrance here, that would be your line of sight as soon as you get in. And this ride would probably expect then massive queues at the start of the day because everyone would see it and just go in and give it a ride. But I feel as if they got a big capacity ride, such as a Intamin Blitz or a Mack Rides version of those type of coaster, launch coaster. I think that could really work. I think a lift hill here would be a bit out of place. I think a low to the ground ride, sweeping turns, lots of airtime moments, quite low so that it sticks below the tree line and doesn't block loads of the line of sight to the towers, which is over back here, which you can see from the entrance just about. I think a low to the ground ride could fit. Probably manufactured by Intamin because they do some good coasters, especially their Intamin Blitzes, which could work if they made it low to the ground, or a Mack Rides equivalent, like I said, similar to Helix, but obviously not a terrain coaster. Helix is a coaster at Liseberg. I'll put a picture of that on the screen now if you don't know what it is. And a flat ride could probably fit in here. The one thing with Alton Towers and flat rides is lots of flat rides do tend to be quite high. And the problem with this is they could go above the tree line, and obviously that's not allowed. For example, Ferris wheels drop towers above ground, that is. And like massive pendulum swing rides, because they tend to be quite tall. So lots of flat rides are ruled out, but little flat ride, even if it's a family one, would be really, really cool. And it would work. You could go over the lake if it was like just slightly even, depending on the model. I'm really not sure what could go here, but it's a big enough area for something to fit, and Alton Towers do have quite a lack of flat rides, so something could go there. Now we've got this big lake. Now this is a big space. This is a very, very big space. Now, obviously you don't want to block the whole lake because it's obviously like quite historical, and it's like something that doesn't want to be blocked. It's nice and big and open. You don't want to block it with a big tall coaster, but you can see that they've used part of the lake for this thing here, where you basically get a golf club and a ball, and you hit the ball, and you try and get it to land in this hole, and if you do, you win like money or something. I don't know, but it's so impossible that no one's literally managed to do it ever. Well, it's just funny, but yeah, if they've managed to use this portion of the lake, they could just use that for a ride. Now, I think something that could really fit here is a B&M wing coaster, but B&M wing coasters are usually quite tall. So they do sell a launched variant. There is only one in the world, and that is Thunderbird at Holiday World in America, and I'll put a picture of that on screen now. And this is a launched B&M wing coaster, and I think something like that could work. It could launch and it could go really low to the water, make some sweeping turns, have some water effects splashing the riders, could make the track blue to fit with the green lake, but things like that could really work because water interaction on coasters is so cool. There's so many rides that utilise it, like the Swarm at Thorpe Park has a flyby on its B&M wing coaster by a little lake, and it's so cool. You can just reach out and try like you're touching it, and it just feels so cool gliding above the water. So lots of elements like that, and a few inversions, maybe even if they aren't high ones, maybe with a couple launches. It doesn't even have to be just one. But something like that could really fit the park, I feel. And with Alton Towers, it is a bit of a challenge because it's a big park, but some of it doesn't need coasters. Like, some of it's just want to have the beauty of the park, because it is a really beautiful park, and it's don't want to be spoiled. Like, the gardens over here, there's no way that Alton Towers would ever get away with putting a coaster around here. And I don't think they'd want to. This is quite a big element of their park, especially at Christmas where they light it all up. Now, if you go over here to the incomplete Wicker Man when it is complete, we've got Congo River Rapids. And this here is basically a river rapids, as it suggests, similar to Rumba Rapids at Thorpe Park. And I'll see if I can find a picture of the ride at Alton Towers and put it on the screen now. And yeah, it's a big ride. It goes all around here, and it's long, it's sweeping. And I think something with some good interaction with that would be really cool. Even if it's a little family coaster, something with some interaction so that the guests on the ride can look at the coaster going above them, and the guests on the coaster can look at the water going below them. And just like a little coaster that goes over and around the track layout, and it doesn't have to go around the whole layout because it is a long layout, but even if it's just a family or even just a little kiddie coaster, something like that here I think would really work. It could be quite disguised by the trees, and it could make for some great interaction with the river rapids. And that's really all my ideas for Alton Towers. Remember, if you've reached this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder that this is all speculational. None of this is confirmed to happen. This is all just my ideas. If you have any different opinions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and watched till here. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. Join my Discord server. It's the first link in the description. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and goodbye.